Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
We are to number 88 on the 49ers 2023 roster countdown, and it is A.J. Parker, defensive back, probably going to be a slot corner, special teamer only, a little bit more specialized out of the majority of the 49ers defensive backs. Now, at 5'11", 180, you can play outside, no doubt about that. But whenever you look at his past, and we'll jump into all these things, snap shares, all these things, I really think slot corner is going to be his spot. Now, in our ranking with our 5 different producers that ranked all these players, he had an cumulative score of 439. Lower score, the better. That brought him out to number 88 out of 91 players because we got that roster exemption with Alfredo. Now, he was not on the team last year, so he came over from the Detroit Lions. We'll break that down. And the executive producer and researcher of today's show is Josh, the 49ers guru. He crushes it. Jersey number 47, he's 5'11", 180. Almost every single Niners defensive back is close to 6 foot, 200 pounds. A little bit on the lighter side. Can play outside, but again, I don't think that's where he really fits. He's got short arms. Again, another thing that goes against, being an outside corner. 30.6-inch arms, not great. 25 years old, young. He did run a 4.5340. No issue with that time frame there. 1.6 10-yard split, not great. 33-inch vertical, again, not great. Broad jump, 117. All right, that's not bad. He's entering into his 3rd season, and there's not a lot of flash/upside about his play. Doesn't mean he's not an NFL player. I truly think that he is, but he seems to have already carved out his role in the NFL, and that's going to be a traveling back into the roster guy that's going to need to have some things go his way in order to make a roster. Practice squad guy, that's just who he's going to be because of the limited skill set and lack of top-end play. Now, he's from Oklahoma. He went to high school at Bartlesville High School. Majored in kinesiology, went to Kansas State. We'll jump into that. And was only a 2-star recruit coming out of high school. Really only had 2 offers. Air Force Academy was offering him for a long time. That was his plan. But he was a stud basketball player and college high school track athlete. And eventually, right before, signing day, he got an offer from Kansas State, committed almost immediately, and went up to Manhattan, Kansas with the Wildcats. Now, you go back to his high school days. Dude was a baller. He led his high school to a 10-2 record, trip to the semifinals at Oklahoma, and that's 6A Division II in 2015. So, you're talking big-time schools, large schools in Oklahoma. He was a 3-year starter in basketball. He was a all-area honors player in basketball. He was a baller. Wide receiver. On offense, he had 65 catches for 1,253 yards, 17 touchdowns his junior and senior seasons put together. He was invited to play in the Oklahoma Coaches Association All-State football game and was, again, track. He jumped 6'10" in high jump. So he's got some hops, which I was pretty shocked whenever I saw his vertical, understanding that he cleared 6'10" in high school. In long jump, he was a 20-foot and a half, 26 long jump, which is great. So 20 foot and 6 inches, not 26 feet. He did land on the 2019 honorable mention All Big 12 coaches poll, but again, he had an injury. And so you're talking about somebody that's had 2 injuries in his career. In 2019 in college, he fractured his ankle. That hurt whatever chances he had at being drafted. And then in 2021, he had another ankle injury, which caused him to miss 3 games. I don't think that he's played after the fact of that ankle injury, so I don't think that's much of a concern long term. But he goes undrafted, and he lands with the Lions in 2021. Played a lot. As an undrafted rookie, he shined right off the bat. I was going back and reading some articles on some Detroit Lions kind of, coverage during OTAs and training camp. He was getting reps with the first team during OTAs and training camp almost right off the bat. And he played a lot. His undrafted free agent rookie year, he played 584 snaps for the Lions as a rookie. 450 of those snaps were as a slot corner, 57 in the box, 17 snaps out wide. So again, you can kind of see he's a slot guy. Now, the interesting thing to me is he only played 28 special team snaps. And so usually your slot guys, now every team is different. You look at the 49ers last year, Huff and Jimmy Ward were on almost every single special teams. Kyle Juszczyk, they're out there. So the Niners handle things differently. So my question is, why is this guy that's a fringe starter his rookie year not playing special team stuff? I don't know the answer, but it's a concern because I'm telling you right now, if A.J. Parker cannot find a stronghold on the special teams, there's almost zero chance he makes this roster because we'll get into the cornerback depth chart in a little bit. To make a championship-type roster, which I know the Niners have not won the championship, but they're definitely a championship-caliber roster. I would argue number 1 or number 2 in the NFL as far as just depth is concerned across offense, defensive positions. He's got to find his space in special teams, and you haven't seen that yet in the NFL. Now, looking at just his snaps as a corner, he had 49 tackles his rookie year, but gave up a 71.4 completion percentage. He allowed 40 receptions on 56 targets. Not good. 4 touchdowns allowed, 1 interception, 6 pass breakups. That's not a terrible ratio. Again, is this guy somebody that's going to be a Pro Bowler? No. Is he going to be a starter? No. Can he be a backup slot guy in special teamer? That's best case scenario. These numbers aren't terrible. Now, he did allow a 108.4 NFL passer rating when targeted. That's terrible. Had 2 penalties his rookie year. Again, 2021 only. Here are his PFF scores. 48.3 on defense overall. Bad. 29.0 run defense grade. Terrible. And so my mind's starting to say, all right, this dude doesn't like contact. He doesn't like to tackle. You look at his tackling grade, his rookie year, 39.6. He had 12 missed tackles for a 19.7 missed tackle rate. This doesn't fit the Niners mold for corners. Now he is a back end of the roster guy. We have him number 88, right? So how many guys are you going to be able to get that fit your style perfectly? He does not. Again, rookie year, 57.1 coverage grade. Now, you come out 2022, last year, he didn't play much at all. He played in 3 games, and they were all in the first half of the season. He played in weeks 5, 7, and 8. That was it. 125 snaps, so he went from 584 snaps his rookie year to 125. Not great. 95 slot snaps, 13 in the box, 1 out wide. 12 special teams. That's the biggest, like, I have it highlighted. That's the biggest red flag on this whole thing. How do you go down in special team snaps? You had 28. If you can't get on the field as a quarter, you got to get on the field special teams. I don't know how that's going to play out. Stats are, such a small sample size for 2022 for him. 11 tackles, 11 receptions on 13 targets, not good. That's 84% completion percentage, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, 0 pass breakups, allowed a 144.4 NFL passer rating in second year. Not great. 0 penalties if we're trying to find something good. Now, PFF scores, and again, only 125 snaps, so small sample size. 39.9 defense went down. 58.7 run defense, that almost doubled. Small sample size. 85.5 tackling, 0 missed tackles. So if I'm a personnel person, in the personnel department for the 49ers, I'm saying, look, he improved. So if we're watching his rookie tape, we're like, yikes. But we're saying, look, to fit the Niners and to play for the 49ers, you have to tackle and be physical. I'm sitting here saying, look, coach, 0 missed tackles. He spent all off season. He corrected it. We just got to see more. And a 36.6 coverage grade his second year. Not ideal. So all these things being said, 2 years with the Lions, he gets waived. The Niners bring him in. He's played in 7 starts, which is not bad. 16 total games, that is bad. You're hoping he lands on the practice squad. I don't think there's any way this guy makes the 53. Again, we got him at 88 for a reason. Listen to this slot depth chart for the 49ers that he would have to overcome. I think 3 tops make the 53-man roster here. Isaiah Oliver, who you just brought in, and you have your new DC saying he's the number 1 slot or nickel corner in free agency. He's making it. The money says so. Demo, I know he's an outside guy, but he could play slot. Samuel Womack, sorry, I didn't mean to offend him. I think he's making the thing. Miles Hartsfield can play everywhere. Quantrez Knight, one of my favorite players from last year. Avery Young, maybe Trey Swelling. We'll get to those guys. I have them both ranked higher than A.J. Parker. Trey Swelling might be more of an outside guy. He's 6'1", but I think he can play inside some. And then you got A.J. Parker. So to make this roster, whether by injury or outplaying everybody, you've got to pass Trey Swelling. You've got to pass Avery Young. You've got to pass Quantrez Knight. You've got to pass Miles Hartsfield. And then maybe you would make the 53-man roster. You're not even guaranteed that if you beat out those 4 guys. And I'm not quite sure he's the fit physically that a lot of those other guys are. It's an uphill battle here. I don't know what else to say. But glad to have him. Curious to see what it's going to look like with him out there. If he can do something, where's he going to be at special teams? That's the thing I want to see when we go to training camp. Where is this kid getting snaps? What's the rotation? Because he's got an uphill battle. And to be honest with you, I think the best case scenario for him, doesn't make the 53, somehow fights his way into a practice squad. That's what he's competing for, on the practice squad or maybe on and off the 49ers practice squad. And then in 2024, after being a year in the system, possibility. Because he's young, and perhaps that's the way he makes it to this. So that's number 88, cornerback A.J. Parker. Thank you, Josh, the 49ers guru, and we're just going to keep counting them down.